2 Iowans were put into powerful positions this week. Here what government officials have to say coming up.
And later we have a sneak preview of the end of carousels.
We'll have your Iowa football update coming up in sports.
And a look at Iowa women's basketball star player.
Some other parts of the country have some expected snow in the next couple days. Stay tuned for weather.
All that and more coming up on this Thursday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning into this Thursday morning edition of DITV. I'm Anthony Caligiuri.
And I'm Susanna Klooster.
Senator Chuck Grassley defended President Trump's appointment of UI alum Matthew Whitaker as the acting Attorney General of the United States. Whitaker has received some backlash as some of his appointments say his appointment is unconstitutional, believing Deputy Attorney General Rob Rosenstein should have been appointed. Michael Score, a Drake University law professor, explained, quote, Trump is entitled to get rid of people, but it still has to follow procedures, end quote. A 1998 law allows the president to appoint a temporary high-ranking individual while a permanent nominee is still being vetted by the Senate. Grassley said, quote, within a few weeks, the president ought to have a nominee up here, so the shorter we have an acting attorney general, the better, end quote.
Hundreds of miles away from any border, one University of Iowa group is doing everything in its power to help undocumented immigrants secure their future in the United States. The Safe Futures team operates out of the College of Law's legal clinic, where they help plan undocumented people's finances and child care in the event they face detainment or deportation. In the past, when coming to the Iowa City area, many people in these circumstances would be pressured into signing off power of an attorney and paying high dollars for documents that Safe Futures team can obtain for free. The Safe Futures team is currently working with 6 clients and has a wait list open to help more undocumented persons.
The Iowa City Community School District has been awarded a grant from ACT. The total award of $310,000 will be distributed over the course of 3 years. The grant will support all 44 schools in the district while implementing the Advancement via Individual Determination program. This program provides resources and professional development for educators so that they can give more of a rewarding and challenging education to students. The goal of this program is to better prepare students in pursuing higher education.
What makes one pharmacist stand out from the next? The University of Iowa's College of Pharmacy is partnering with the Office of Healthcare Leadership Education to roll out new business programs to set Hawkeyes apart from the crowd. Covering topics such as business analytics, hiring top talent, and healthcare organizations, the student-driven program aims to give pharmacy students skills needed in owning and working with pharmacy. A total of 6 courses delivered over 3 semesters are being developed by the Tippy College of Business. Well, Anthony, I have to say that we have only 2 days left until Thanksgiving break, and I'm pretty excited to go home, especially with how cold it's getting.
You're right, Susanna. With this cold weather, it's really hard to get people to kind of get motivated and students to get their work done. So let's toss over to Dylan to see what he has to say about these next few days. Dylan?
Thanks, Susanna and Anthony. I gotta say, I do feel like many students are looking forward to heading home and staying indoors for that warm Thanksgiving over this next week. Now, here in Iowa City, we've gone a whole week without snow. But other parts of the country can't say the same. Now, as we look into the snowfall forecast on Wednesday and Friday, we have 8 to 12 inches up here in the northeast, and then 3 to 5 inches a bit east of Iowa into Illinois, Indiana, and somewhat into Ohio. Now, where there's snowfall means there's likely ice. As we look into the ice forecast, we can see there's projected ice on Friday up by Pennsylvania and Ohio, around these regions. So luckily, Iowa football isn't going to Penn State. Now, as we look into the local forecast here today, we have a high of 28 degrees here locally and sunny skies. So it'll be a pretty nice day for Iowa City. And as we move into night, it even gets a little warmer. We have a temperature of 31 degrees and clear skies. Now, as we look into our extended 5-day forecast, tomorrow we have some very strong winds at 10 miles per hour and partly cloudy skies, with our high of 42 degrees and low of 29. Now, Saturday, we do have actually a little bit of snow coming in the morning here in Iowa City. We have a high in the mid-30s and a low in the high teens at 19 degrees. So make sure to stay warm on Saturday. Sunday, we have partly cloudy skies with a high in the low 30s and a low, same as Saturday, in the high teens. Monday's forecast is pretty similar to Sunday's. We have a high in the mid-30s and a low in the mid-20s with partly cloudy skies as well. Finally, on Tuesday, we actually warm up a bit. We have our highest high of the week at a high of 41 degrees and a low in the mid-20s. So Tuesday looks very nice for us here. Well, that's all I got in the weather studio this morning, but make sure to come back for the football game day forecast, where I'll be previewing what the Hawkeyes will see in Illinois on Saturday. Guys at the desk, back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. Every Thursday, we give you a rundown of all things arts and culture happening in Iowa City.
And you may have noticed that our arts and culture reporter Caitlin Cluck has been gone the past few weeks. We have DITV reporter Mackenzy Cooper live in the newsroom to tell us what she's been up to. Mackenzy?
Thanks, Anthony. That's right. Our very own Caitlin Cluck has been missing in action. She may not have been reporting the arts because instead she's been making them. Caitlin's very first play, The End of Carousels, is set to premiere on Friday night. What started off as a school project in fall of 2017 turned into much more when she couldn't put the pen down. After submitting it to the theater department, it was chosen for a workshop production. We got an exclusive first look. Check it out. Hypnosis, a star basketball player, and a doomsday conspiracy. These are the main themes of Caitlin Cluck's very first play. The End of Carousel stars Melina, an aspiring teenage hypnotist. An unlikely friendship develops when she gets paired with David, the high school basketball star. Throughout the play, they find out they have more in common with one another than they thought. Like most teenagers, Melina is trying to find her independence, but her overly religious mom, who thinks the world is going to end, makes that a little difficult.
The Reverend was talking about obedience as I was driving home from work.
Of course he was.
The cast and crew of 6 all-UI students come together to put on an entertaining show with a sense of mystery, making you want more because you never know what's coming next. And where do carousels fit in all of this? Well, you'll have to check out the show to find out.
He said that we always write it for however long time allows us to.
Last night, and I was literally on the edge of my seat the entire time. You can check out The End of Carousels on Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. in Theater B in the theater department. Anthony and Susanna, back to you.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Now, for many Iowa students, the top dishes at Burge Dining Hall may be the chicken strips or grilled cheese, but it's executive chef Barry Greenberg's unique recipe that's really drawing attention. DITV reporter Kate Fazioli has more.
University of Iowa's very own executive chef Barry Greenberg just won Miner's Flavor Expedition Recipe Contest, and he's not stopping there.
I do a lot of the recipe contests that are available, so I don't know how much is going to be different in the future, but it sure is nice to win a big prize like that.
Don't let his humbleness fool you. Greenberg's original carnita tamale tarts defeated other professional chefs' recipes and won him $10,000 and a trip to France.
Well, the recipe contest format was to use this company's ingredient, so I used a lot of their ingredients, so that made it a little different. But I've done similar recipes using tamale dough in different ways, so it's different, but it's also similar to many other dishes that I've prepared. Yeah, it's always a fun experience doing competitions. I was surprised that I won. I thought it was a good recipe. I didn't realize it was as good as they thought it was, so that's exciting.
Reporting to you from Burge Hall, I'm Kate Fazioli with DITV.
And to learn more about Chef Barry Greenberg, check out the latest issue of the Daily Iowan.
Well, it looks like some good cooking, but you know what hasn't been cooking recently is the Iowa men's basketball team.
That's exactly right, Susanna. We don't know what, let's see what sports has to say about that. Guys in the studio, what do you have to say about that?
Well, that's not the only thing we want to be cooking, Declan. We want this Iowa football team to be cooking against Illinois this weekend.
Yeah, Tyler Cook, hopefully he's cooking it up tonight, but we're sizzling with all these chef stuff. Let's just get right into sports. What we got?
Well, to lead off today, and Iowa's lost to Northwestern on Saturday. Star tight end Noah Fant played less than 10 snaps in the second half, which begs the question, why?
Well, we have DITV sports director Lucy Rohden live in the newsroom with more. Good morning, Lucy.
Guys.
So Lucy, Fant is a preseason All-American. He's got 18 career touchdowns. Why wasn't he in the game down the stretch?
Well, that's a really good question, and frankly, a question I don't think any of us but Kirk Ferentz knows the answer to. Kirk said it has nothing to do with Fant off the field because at media availability on Tuesday, that was the only topic of conversation was why is Noah Fant not playing? As you said, he has 18 touchdown receptions this year, and he's just a monster on the field. He's an All-American, he's a projected high-round draft pick, but he's not seeing that playing time. Kirk made it adamant that it's not a character issue, and it just comes down to having the best players on the field at the best time. But against Northwestern, we needed a spark of offense, and we didn't see Noah Fant. Noah has made it very clear that he wants playing time, he wants to work for playing time, and he just doesn't know why he's not getting it. Kirk said that at the end of the day, it comes down to Bryant and Ferentz on the call, but we just really don't know why Noah's not seeing playing time this year. And frankly, it's looking like Noah's going to leave Iowa after this year and could possibly miss out on the bowl game to prepare for the NFL draft instead because he's just not seeing the playing time he's seen earlier in the season.
Lucy Rohden live in the newsroom. Thanks as always, Lucy.
One Iowa women's basketball player has been receiving more attention than usual. We have DITV women's basketball beat reporter Natalie Accapetti standing up to give us an update.
The Iowa women's basketball season has already kicked off with a 3-0 start, and all eyes are back on senior All-American Megan Gustafson. Let's just say Megan amazes me every single time that she steps foot on the court, but personally, she is not satisfied yet.
In terms of individually for me, just continuing to work on my post moves. That's something that I'm never satisfied with. Every single day I try to evaluate my game and think, okay, I could have done that better today in practice or something. I have really high expectations of myself, like in practices. If I miss, I'm surprised and I get mad at myself, which is something that I'm trying to work on. Just be like, okay, Megan, it's okay, you can miss every once in a while.
Last season, Megan led the NCAA in points per game, field goal percentage, and field goals made. The All-American has already made a significant impact on the court this season by earning Big Ten Player of the Week after the Hawks' season opener against Oral Roberts. 11th in her career, but who's counting? Here's what head coach Lisa Bluder had to say about Megan.
I can get better. I can still get better. When you have an athlete that's getting these kind of accolades that still wants to get better and understands they can get better, I think they've got a pretty level head on.
On Tuesday night, the Hawks took on Western Kentucky University for their first road game of the season. Gustafson scored 29 points in 25 minutes, and that was 13 for 13 in field goals. And she broke another record, and Megan became the second Hawkeye in program history to surpass 1,000 career rebounds. Tune in for more updates on Megan and the rest of the Iowa women's basketball team as Big Ten play starts up in the next couple of weeks. Guys, back to you.
The Hawks will be back in Carver Hawkeye Arena this Saturday to take on North Carolina Central at 7 p.m.
The men's basketball team will take on the 13th ranked Oregon Ducks in Madison Square Garden as a part of the 2K Empire Classic.
I think you have some decisions to make when you schedule a tournament like this. We want to take our team to the Garden. We want to play Oregon, Syracuse, UConn. We want to be on that stage. We want to challenge our team against that quality in November. So we'll learn a lot more about ourselves as we get ready for Big Ten play, which, as you know, is right around the corner now.
The two teams we've played, I think they've presented different challenges for us. That'll prepare us well for the teams that we play in Oregon and then whoever after. So I think something great about these Thanksgiving tournaments is we get to find out where we are. It's a really good benchmark, and really looking forward to going and competing in New York.
That's it for us in the sports studio. Guys at the desk, back to you.
And thanks for tuning in to DITV this morning.
Have a great day, Iowa City.